Hello and welcome to NeUp's Founder Focus, where today we have Mr. Yuvraj Shidhaye of TreadBinary, and we have a very important and interesting conversation lined up for you. Where we're going to talk about everything there is to talk about in deepfakes, and my favorite topic personally, superintelligence. So thank you so much, Yuvraj, and I understand you're tuning in from Taiwan. So just let us know how is the weather there and how is the weather when it comes to technology, deepfakes, semiconductors. Just we are waiting to hear you about that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Gauri, for first of all having me for this discussion here today. And this topic especially was quite exciting to me personally, and hence I thought of ensuring my availability while I'm still here on various business visits. The weather in Taiwan is much like close to Mumbai, being an island nation. It's humid. We have around 27 degrees of temperature with light showers going on, so carrying the umbrella wherever we go. In general, I think the people are good, and when we talk about the semiconductor industry here, I think it's growing by leaps and bounds, and especially with companies like NVIDIA and other such fabulous manufacturers where they don't intend on fabricating their own chips, while countries like Taiwan do it for them. I think it has benefited Taiwan in general to progress by leaps and bounds as compared to the geopolitical issues that it has been facing over the past good number of decades now. So, yeah, happy to be here and to look into good business opportunities. Representing India is always great.
Wonderful. I'll also ask you towards the end of anything that you want to tell our viewers about your visit, what new we can expect from TreadBinary, because Taiwan just said that it comprises the IT, and like India is the I and Taiwan is the T, and we didn't have very good relations last year where there was a fallout with Foxconn and Vedanta for the first chip industry. Obviously, Micron took over. Then I mean, Taiwan has been instrumental in the semiconductor business, but is it going to be like a partner to India, or soon India will be a rival? Because I was speaking to this one person from the wear tech industry, from the wearables industry last year, and they told me that it's a reality that in the next 4 to 5 years India will be making its own chips. But yes, I will be specific to AI right now. you know um AI is something that can revolutionize not just not just education, but also agriculture and like healthcare. So these are the main three areas where human civilization can just take up, and this was the main crux of what was discussed in the Global AI Summit of NASCOM, just conducted in July. But deep fakes have come up as a black swan of AI. So, with the elections coming in, what are some common use cases that you can see which are missing the public eye when it comes to generating misinformation and misleading people?
Yeah, I think the very first high impact examples that came towards us was, with the Pope being dressed into a different attire, post that inappropriate video of Taylor Swift. And I guess such instances are gonna grow. And with AI coming to our fingertips, with the cell phones getting embedded various AI-based applications, it's going to come, to the common public. So, in general, the impact is going to be huge. And as you rightly mentioned, it being the black swan, it's inevitable and it's going to bring a huge impact. Uh, of course, misinformation is something that is going to be the biggest threat point here when we talk about the overall impact aspect. Coming to election-based perspective, I think around election times, anything and everything that is covered or creates an impact, especially things which are probably true to a certain extent, but misinterpreted, becomes the bigger threat. And then being said by, let's say, an authority or a candidate using deepfake becomes even more impactful, which can literally bring immense impact and make or break the situation in that particular region or even internationally. So I would say this is something which definitely is a huge concern. Of course, when we talk from US elections perspective, there are already good number of laws that are being passed on, state level and also on federal level. But when I've gone through, let's say, the documentation that they have created, it's more about what action they would take in case a person was found. Finding it, is the primary issue, especially IT now being, over the net. If a person or an entity is outside US boundaries or any national boundary, how are you going to try the entity, right? And that becomes, I guess, the first and foremost aspect. Even though we talk about, local elections or the central elections, no matter what they be, they always are influenced to a certain extent, if not more, by the external affairs. And that can definitely be a big risk in the elections.
No, absolutely. Even India's elections, there were reports in BBC and Al Jazeera of telling that there were some India-based companies which were getting these requests to actually generate the deepfake of a like late leader. And this can be very misleading and very emotionally disturbing as well to many candidates. And we also saw the case of disinformation, which has nothing to do with the deepfakes generated by people. But then, yes, it's a misuse use case where Kate Middleton actually altered her own pictures and a whole kill notice, and it was a media fiasco. Like in the history of journalism, whoever is going to study it, they're going to understand that okay, this source tried to create disinformation. So that is something that can actually hurt the human conscience. Like right now, you and I are from the 1% or like the 10% chunk of the population who can understand that okay, this is a deep fake. But what if the people actually get fooled? Because we come across a lot of deep fake cases, like something as trivial as Ananta Mani and Radhika Mani wearing gold attires. And you and I can definitely say that this is a Photoshop job and a very bad job at it. But unlike the generating of babies of Aishwarya Rai or probably Deepika Padukone,
Right.
and it's not trivial anymore because now the whole use case can divert towards nudity and child pornography, and like where are the guardrails, where are the regulations is something that the government has to come in on. So from Sam Altman to governments, everybody is pro to guardrailing around I mean, it's like AI was started to solve something. It's probably starting to take up jobs. It's probably like take away jobs. It's starting to create a whole unrest in the influencer economy. Like AI creators are coming in. Plus, my students, like I teach media literacy. So not just me, my students are also seeing these ads of why wait for a real human when you can have an AI boyfriend. And this is very concerning. Where are the guardrails? So what should
Right.
be the legislation targeting first and foremost if AI has to be regulated is something I want to understand from you.
Great. So before I get into, let's say, my opinion about the topic, the couple of aspects that the regulatory authorities are looking at is having signatures embedded within the video, something similar to the digital certification and so on, or as simple as having watermarks being put in. But this is all for those applications which are really registered on credible platforms like Play Store or Apple App Store and so on. But there are so many applications which are afloat on various P2P platforms which are unregulated, and such provisions cannot really limit the actual use. Of course, there are some good number of applications which are doing a good job when it comes to identifying whether a particular video is having deep fake content, or whether it has some other visual behind it. But like our virus and antivirus situation, that no matter how good the antivirus is, there are always new viruses which keep coming, and we need to keep updating ourselves. I think a similar situation will have to be done, but those are all more of reactive uh, ways in which you can basically control, even from rule definition or law definition perspective, uh, it's always about, hey, how do I categorize this? Oh, this is misrepresentation, or oh, you're doing a scam or whatever. Uh, Coming to my opinion about how to handle deep fakes is probably first of all what we have observed being into the IT domain. There are many open source algorithms, which people have access to easily, which can be used in order to extend the deep fake algorithms further. I suppose the first thing that can be done is to ensure that those are taken down or those are restricted, especially keeping a track of who is downloading or installing them, or having a core code which actually sort of gives a hint that this is a deep fake video or something of that sort. That could be, let's say, for starters. The second one being ensuring that whenever we are uploading some images, those themselves are also sort of tracked. So we should have a sort of blockchain technology being used, because we are personally working on a few of such projects, not in deepfake application, but for such security reasons. So if my image is being used, then a certain signature should get placed within it, so that whenever that image is being consumed and reused somewhere else, the traces of that image flow in. Thereby, we would be able to really identify where the components are flowing in from. So, yeah, these could be probably a couple of ways in which we can guardrail.
No, absolutely. And this is very relevant. This is some direction into this very complicated topic. And I came across, like most of us have this account where a girl tries to pose as Alia Bhatt. So she morphs her face. And identity morphing has cropped up as a very, very crucial and very scary aspect of AI these days. So it's a concerning trend which can defame, and then it can lead to threat and lies as well. Like, I can probably murder someone and I can masquerade to be someone else. So, how can one safeguard themselves in this case?
I suppose first and foremost, it's the awareness for people to rely on whom and what. Like, for example, I have a code word set with my family, with my closed ones, who may get a threat call because I keep traveling a lot and the information can be misused, right? So there should be, let's say, an internal verification between close family and really, really close
That's
friends.
actually a very interesting concept. Like, this is like a human verification, a two-factor or authentication. This is very nice. I'll take note of this.
Perfect. The second one is also basically pertaining to self-awareness, where stop putting everything on social media. I mean, you wouldn't find me, posting pictures of me being in Taiwan, or even, having different poses. Ideally, what I would recommend going forward is probably have some sort of a signature, on your face or holding something, like putting on black glasses, for example, like we do for signatures, right? Now, being a founder and director, I need to maintain at least 3 to 4 different signatures. One signature which goes on banking checks, one signature which goes on routine documents which I have to sign within the organization, and probably the third one for whenever I'm checking into hotels or doing some sort of an external verification. So we probably need to use our face as a signature now, where we change our face and look, so that if at all somebody is going to misuse our presence on the social media or any other place, then they won't have the right sort of face to fake.
No, but like, I was just thinking of this, that okay, I probably today, or like somebody close to me can stop posting because we're not public figures as such. But somebody like an Alia Bhatt or a Deepika Padukone earn their bread and butter out of their Instagram following. So I mean, we just cannot ask them to stop posting, and like उनके deepfakes तो इतना आराम से बन जाएंगे. Plus, there is no guardrail on what open source can use and what they cannot use. Like it's a very big tiff between enterprises as well. And here, this is public domain information which people have consented to give in the public. The FANG has always these underlying codes which you have to accept in order to create like a Facebook or a Gmail account. So I mean,
Right.
this is a very concerning trend, and I think the government has to start regulating this. They cannot be in a wait and watch position, because mostly people were in a wait and watch position when AI just took boom. But now it's over 2 years, and now we like AI has attained a certain age, and super intelligence is going to come in. So I think this is high time. But I want to ask, if deepfakes or AI creators have the potential to replace traditional forms of communication, or do you feel that AI can be like, obviously all founders have this one generic sentence which I've now memorized, कि AI will be automating some tasks and AI will not be able to take up critical thinking, or it will not be able to replicate the human touch. But what exactly today do you think? Like, very bluntly, please let us know what roles or what place in the society can AI replace? Because we had a UK MP who was an AI. So if MPs are going to be AIs, then I mean, what all roles can immediately AI take up? Because it's also getting sentient, it's also having the Web3 emotional intelligence. So just want your take on that.
See, one thing that we need to understand, and I suppose we all do in general, but it's more about accepting the fact that AI works on past data, right? And the data that is being fed to these engines, is that authentic? Okay, fine. The data may be authentic, but the derivation of information from that data and the perspective from which that data is going to be interpreted is also going to create an impact on how the output is going to be. Like in TreadBinary, whenever we are undertaking any machine learning or deep learning based application development, we are not using any existing open models. We get into the depths of how the formula is, what mathematics should go in, because presently with OpenAI based algorithms, there is no way to validate whether the output is going to be as expected, because we don't have the actual answer. So what are you going to compare it with, right? That's where, I mean, when you talk about uh, AI and the sort of jobs that we can put AI into, they are those jobs which are or should be only the ones which are repetitive. When we talk about decision making, we cannot control that, and we cannot trust anyone to control the data that is being fed. So, I mean, UK people are very intelligent. So, if they are allowing AI to take control of some
Only
aspects of their,
76 votes to Steve. I mean, I was enamored by the news of AI Steve, but then he just won 76 people's trust out of like a huge country. So that was a little
76
funny to watch, but I
number.
don't know. I mean, there was this survey which I studied which said that, for certain consultancies or surveys probably related to skincare or what, people are more susceptible to trust AI, trust machine intelligence rather than human intelligence, because they feel that humans can alter information. So I mean, it's gonna be seen if AI Steve kind of gets better with time and probably takes over a chair in the parliament.
I think it's more about convenience when we talk about interactive AI, because uh, most of our colleagues, even in TreadBinary, tend to, use ChatGPT or any such AI for day-to-day email drafting and so on. But I mean, when search engines came into picture, people considered that intelligence because it could crawl the web, it could give you the results. Of course, it was giving you the results which is already there on the web. Now, you're not even getting options. You're getting one result, right? And that scares me the most. So,
Absolutely. Like it just makes us redundant because if like I was taught the first rule of reporting was like if I had to be a domain expert on a topic which I had to cover, I had to read up 10 articles on that. And today I can just go to a chat GPT and ask it, like suppose I was not a tech reporter and I just asked you what is artificial intelligence or what is semiconductors. So at one end, they say I met Infosys data scientists at an event, and they said that AI enables it to write them to write mails very fluently. They don't have to rely on an assistant, a human assistant who can cost them a lot. So it empowers them in the terms of language. They have something, they get
right,
something, they become better.
LLMs,
Like
yeah.
it can probably help me write code, and it can like make me edit videos if I'm not a video editor. AI can help me edit videos seamlessly. So it just empowers humans. But now there is like there's AGI right now, artificial general intelligence. Now we have artificial super intelligence. And last year when I pitched this topic for my publication, they were like, "हमें तो खुद नहीं पता ये क्या है, so how can we allow you to write about it?" But I have been kind of skeptical of what AI's potential has to be, and how, like I have full faith that it can take over humanity. Like those movies are not fake. Her came
As
in.
like as you know, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's this movie people miss out. Joaquin Phoenix is Her, and they all go crazy about Teri Baaton Mein Aisa Uljha Jiya. But like already there has been like a very muted version of how somebody can fall in love with an OS, and we can get used to our Alexas in our Google Homes. So but very specifically to super intelligence, there's a muted buzz about it. But can it empower human intelligence? And I want to specifically ask you, do you validate Sam Altman's understanding that we are a few thousand days away from super intelligence? And what exactly would you define super intelligence as? Because everybody probably has a different definition of it.
right. So again, I'll be very honest with you. I have not really done deep research about super intelligence. But what my interpretation of super intelligence would be is, as compared to the existing generative AI, which sort of gets a reference based on what goal it's supposed to achieve. Super intelligence is probably able to not only derive the direction of thought that it's supposed to have, but then also give results anticipating what the questions are going to be, right? The difference, you spoke about super intelligence enabling humans to a level that they may become redundant in the future, right? We have already started leaving our drafting skills to AI. What's going to be next? Probably selling materials and even implementing it. Then we'll
Probably
go
things
back.
we don't like doing. So we're offloading our work as we always have
Right.
done.
Right. And that's where, I mean, people were talking about, hey, it doesn't have emotion, but now it's able to handle the emotional quotient, it's able to handle the moods and so on. One thing that cannot be taken, which comes through our genes, and this is where, the biology comes into picture, is we have every single person has a different psychology, right? And a gut feeling. Gut feeling is something that we have been given through our lineage. It's like cats reacting to a cucumber fallen next to it. Its immediate reaction is to jump off. That cannot be built into AI, no matter what. The seniors, the peers who I have, whom I dearly respect, they have this knack of even understanding whether the person is talking truth or not. Probably ठीक है, lie detection हो गया है AI में, but you can checkbox all the tick boxes. Oh, the eye contact was good, the hands were not shaking and whatnot. Still वो नहीं, इसमें
It's
मजा
an
नहीं
unexplainable thing. We say
आया.
ना कि ये कुछ off है. Like that
हाँ, कुछ ऑफ
वाला
है.
factor ना AI नहीं पकड़ पाएगा is what I'm understanding from you. This is very
Right.
helpful to understand, and you've also given us tidbits on how to protect ourselves in this very dangerous age. But if I want to sum it up for somebody who's not very techno savvy, how can they protect themselves at the age of AI? Like I just need 5 tips which we can start implementing from today in order to be a safer individual on the internet.
Yeah, I think with the the frauds that have been increasing. And when we talk about deep fakes, it's not only about the videos, it's also about audio, or only video, or both put together, right? So I think first and foremost, like I mentioned earlier, with your close family who can be tricked into extorting money, have some two-step verification, some keywords that you would like to use in such cases. Second thing is understand law better, because so many times these fraudsters are, identifying themselves as policemen, customs officers, excise officers. It's okay to say no, it's okay to hang up, right? Most of the times, people, out of fear of death of a loved one, out of fear of law, they end up getting budged. It's okay to have a little bit of cash at your home, right? वो बोल दिया कि तुम्हारे पास कैश मिला है, या तुमने कुछ ऑनलाइन ऑर्डर किया है which was not appropriate. It's fine. Even there are some video calls that are being made, and then extortion कि भैया ठीक है, I'll share it with your husband, or I'll share it with your wife, and then these things are happening. So I guess trusting one's family is most important. It's more about qualitative aspect, because बाकी सारी चीजें तो I think WhatsApp पे सबको पता है कि खुद का डेटा शेयर मत करो, डोंट गेट फूल्ड। जैसे लकी ड्रॉ कूपन्स वगैरह के लिए मांगते हैं कि यू विल गेट समथिंग फॉर फ्री, इफ इट्स फ्री देन यू आर द प्रोडक्ट। आई थिंक आई कीप एम्फसाइजिंग ऑल माय फ्रेंड्स एंड किड्स whom I meet कि वो फ्री में है करके आप आपका डेटा मत दे दो। Probably maintain two or three different cell phones, one purely for legal purposes, जैसे आधार कार्ड का ओटीपी हो गया, क्रेडिट कार्ड का ओटीपी हो गया, बैंक्स का हो गया। Second, for contacting for your business purposes, and third, for making entries जहाँ पे भी mandatory हो। जैसे अभी हम लोग ताइवान आए हुए हैं, in order to fill up the form, इट वाज एक्सपेक्टेड कि मोबाइल नंबर एंड ओटीपी रहे, एंड ओटीपी वेरिफिकेशन आजकल काफी जगह पे रिक्वायर्ड रहता है। सो यहाँ पे वो मल्टीपल सेल फोन नंबर्स होना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। सो दैट कैन आई थिंक बी अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप। Same goes for email IDs, because email IDs are also becoming, let's say, a legal channel for verifying whether you are real or not. So that can be the third or the fourth point. And probably the fifth point is be aware. Don't trust WhatsApp University, Facebook University. Still go back to newspapers. Don't cancel the subscriptions, and follow more reliable press and media like Gauri Joshi over here to do the research before publishing something.
No, I'm so happy that you said it, because all the people, and recently Morning Context broke even, and like even the Ken is doing pretty well for itself. And I really admire subscription based platforms, because we've put in our work. Like just like a doctor spends lakhs and crores to earn their degree, even a journalist spends like thousands, if not lakhs, on their degree every year. And we've had like specialization over specialization. I have personally taking the time to specialize myself on AI. So, I mean, what we are going to bring to you is obviously going to be better than some chachi or nani who is going to just kind of write about it, or have a rumor, which is an opinion, and so strongly presented that it looks like a fact. But yes, I mean, this pretty much sums it up. Thank you so much, Yuvraj, for giving the time. It was so vibrant and so interesting to hear every word that you said. And I really wish TreadBinary the best. But before I let you go, I just want to ask you, are we gonna hear something like some big collaboration or some good news from Taiwan from you soon?
Yes, we are looking forward to it. We may be signing a few deals in the next days, so we can watch.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you so
I really want to be the first to know.
much.
And thank you so much again for giving your time. Thank you so much, Niyati, for coordinating this. And keep watching Nia. Thank you so much once again.